Hello there, Chimerae here, checking in, and this is my very first Battleforge Reborn video. I am now actually hosting the third alpha tournament. I mean the third installment of it rather. And well, I created a little defense which the alpha members had to beat. Now this time we will have to face the most glorious card of this entire game, the Shadow Worm. Well, and the Shadow Worm will be accompanied by a soul splicer, some kind of weird device which turns souls of the living into healing of creatures, I guess. Then we've got another tower of shadow, which is called the Necroblaster, and I used to use this thing all the time. It's a really great tower. So now the alpha members had to destroy these things as well as 5 glorious shadow worms. So as you can see, this is the setup, and well, there's 5 of the worms. There is some, let's see here, we've got 2 Necroblasters, and for every shadow worm a soul splicer, or 2 per one rather, and they cover each other pretty much. There is one basic rule for this tournament: only melee units are allowed to be used. You are allowed to use these abilities on them, except for disabling abilities and long-ranged abilities. For the total rule set and victory conditions, just check the forum link, which I will put in the description. So let's see how they'll do. So first expedition by Bob Frog. You might recognize him, the dude from the forums with the frog on his signature. And he uses the Boom Brothers, and you know, backed up by Silverwind Lancers, or rather reversed, Silverwind Lancers backed up by Boom Brothers. So he uses the Silverwind Lancers to distract the worm, and the worms will obviously target anything that comes at them. So they'll focus on the Lancers, and then the Boom Brothers can shoot from the back. So as you could have seen, just that happened to the first worm. Poor thing. Aww. But then there are more of them. So in go the Lancers. The worm instantly targets them, and boom! There go the Boom Brothers, and the other poor worm also going down. And shadow wouldn't be shadow if the corpses wouldn't be consumed. As you can see, these soul splicers took some of the corpse souls. And the next one goes. Yeah, I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, so to make the video a little bit shorter. And then he keeps organizing his lancers in order to not get the Boom Brothers targeted by the worm. And once again, he organizes his units, wait for the cooldown, and off he goes again. And boom, the final worm down, moves in, destroys the towers, other tower, and then it's pretty much, you know, cleaning up the remaining buildings. Soul Splicers can't do much without any support of units, so, well, that was Bob Frog's replay. Thank you very much for sending, dude. Now, the second and winning submission was from Arias, the magma hurler from the forums. Maybe you've seen him. Now, and he uses a very interesting strategy to minimize power cost and thus points that you know, easily made him win this thing. So what he does is he uses a harvester, and the special ability of that to well, abilities are cost free in this system that I made with you know, the points. So he could just keep using this ability of skeleton warriors from the harvester, and he sends in these guys to damage the worm, which will obviously instantly heal back because of the soul splicers. But what he does is he sends in the skeleton warriors and then quickly kills them off right before they die. So then the harvester can use the corpses back, and he can just keep repeating this ability thing of the harvester. Now, disintegrated units do not, you know, drop what do you call them, corpses. they just disappear. So what he has to be very careful in order to not mess this up, because if he does, the harvester will no longer have any corpses to use, which well, which needs requires him to summon a new one, which will obviously cost a lot of power. There's a lot of points. So he's just gonna repeat the strategy over and over again, which is obviously very time consuming for him. And he said on the forums he messed this up a couple of times, which made him do this thing over again all the time. So yeah, this is quite a tiresome strategy, I might imagine. As you can see, the soul splicers are almost empty now, which means the warp will soon start to get damage. The most left one is almost, yeah, there it is, empty. So we see the worms taking damage now. And Ariel sent me this replay already sped up, but I'm going to cut it into multiple smaller segments, because it's just the same thing over and over again, as you can see here. And the first worm goes down, and we'll see all of them go down. And yeah, it's a very interesting strategy, and excellent that he came up with this thing. It's really cool. So there, the second one goes down, and he orders his units to go to the north, weakens the soul splicers, and in order to get the third one down. And he, if he makes one mistake with his skeleton warriors, if he doesn't kill them off, he has to start all the way over again, because he will not be able to use the thing anymore. So now there he goes to the final worm, and even if he's taken down the final one, he still has to be careful, because the necroblasters are really strung towers. Also, maybe you might have noticed the harvester actually got targeted by the worm in the very last, which wasn't a problem because it died very quickly afterward. But these things might be very horrible to watch if you actually see your harvester getting trapped in there. Yeah, it's not gonna be nice. Anyway, he's now trying to drain down the necroblaster's shots, which allows him to take everything down without any problems. So there you have it, the third alpha tournament. I hope everyone enjoyed watching this. Well, enjoy the outro with the glorious image of the harvester, one of the most awesome units in this entire game. Well, obviously he has to accept the fact that the shadow worm is cooler than him, but he'll manage. So yeah, alpha tournament, third installment. Goodbye.